David Wygant, 10-minute daily reality check. It's Tuesday. I will be in New York City Thursday onward for 5 or 6 days. Going to go see my brother. Going to go see John Keegan, who you've missed on the podcast for a long, long time. John Keegan will be a guest again. We haven't seen John Keegan in a long time. And I'm just going to go and just enjoy some winter weather. I know you're all thinking like, man, why does he want to go in the wintertime? It's, 65 degrees in LA. It's perfect weather. Everybody's smiling. And well, that's the reason why I want to go to New York. I want to go get cold. I want to see people pissed off. I want to see people real. I want to see people miserable. And I want to see my favorite sidewalk Santas, man. I remember the sidewalk Santas all the time. One of my best times, or like my favorite time of year, was always Christmas time. Between Thanksgiving and New Year's was always my favorite time in New York City. I felt magical. There was something about Christmas in New York. There was something about the energy, the stores, the decorations, the windows, the people. I always found that people did year-end inventories in New York, and they became more open and more interested in you as the holidays neared. There's just something about it, walking through Grand Central Station and around Christmas time. I remember going back. I remember when I was living in the city, I had to go see my mom for, Christmas. And I'd go to Grand Central Station, and I remember I would just hear, Christmas songs and carolers and, just people on the train. And there's just magic in the air. When you're in Los Angeles, there's no magic. There's smoke from the fires in the air, and there's smog in the air, but there's no Christmas in the air here. There's not much Christmas spirit. People will ask you how your holidays are and so forth, but when you drive down a street, there's just palm trees and trees and the same shit. You really can't tell the difference in seasons. Sure, there are oak trees that lose their leaves here, and they go a little bald in December, but you don't really have that magic. So going back to New York to me is always a really great experience this time of year. So for those of you that dream of warmer weather, dream of California, dream of things like this, I want you to realize that you live in a place where it's cold, where Christmas feels like Christmas. Enjoy it. Enjoy the holidays. The other day when I was freezing, I go to this place called Cryo. I can't even pronounce it. There's certain words I still can't pronounce. I go get my ass frozen 207 degrees below zero. I've talked about it a lot. One of the girls that works there asked me this question. What if I can do it again? What would I do different? Well, we all know we can't travel back in time unless we have a flux decapator and we can go back to the future and so forth. And we all know that time travel doesn't exist, even though Hollywood likes to do movies and, they try to make time travel work, and it never makes any sense because how could they be in 2018 when they're back in 1987? How are they still living in 1987? The whole time travel shit never made any sense to me, no matter how good the movie was. But I was asked what lessons I learned from life. And I could tell you there's some really distinct lessons that I have learned that I can share. And there's things that I would have done differently. Now, we all know we can't go back. And one of the beauties of life is that really every single day you have a chance to live life differently. And that's the beauty. You can't go back in time, but you certainly can stay present in time. And one of the magical gifts of life is that whatever you fucked up on today, you got a chance tomorrow to make right. You got a chance tomorrow to really move forward, learning from the lessons that you had today. We can't think about the things that we didn't do, but I could tell you things that what I learned the most from. And one of them was sunscreen. I was obsessed with getting a suntan. I was obsessed with suntan since I was a kid because I was just mimicking my crazy mother and my crazy grandma. So after having a couple of basal cells removed in 2018, that's one of the things I would have really done differently. And when I see people that are younger and I look at them out in the sun, I look at them and say, no. You don't want to do this. You don't want to think about your health when you get older. You want to have great health. You don't want to think about things that you need to get removed from your skin. It's not important for vanity when you're younger to create stress to your body when you're older. That's one thing I would have done different. Another thing I would have done different is I would have flossed. I didn't think I flossed till I was 37 years old. And it's definitely led to root canals and other things. So flossing was important. Even though I brushed my teeth a lot, I didn't understand what flossing was. Another thing is real estate. There's just a small amount of real estate available in every area unless you want to live in the countryside. I would have bought real estate. I would have bought more real estate. I bought some real estate, but I would have bought a lot more real estate. And I would have been more patient with my life. And I think that was the biggest thing. I think that was the biggest aha moment is I was always so impatient in my life. It's like I remember my 20s. True story, I saw the movie About Last Night. It was a Rob Lowe movie with Demi Moore and Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi. And I remember seeing that movie, and I remember really wanting to be in love and having a woman move in with me. And I was like 23 years old. And then I went through like a series of girlfriends that I moved in after dating them for 2 weeks. There was no romance. It's just like, let's go, we have sex, and why don't you just move in? It was really quick. And I remember just being very impatient and not being patient. I remember not wanting to learn lessons. And I think that's one of the biggest things, because patience in life is going to allow you for more success. Everybody wants this life to happen immediately. We want riches immediately. We want to have a better body immediately. We want better health immediately. But really in life, the best things come to those who have learned the magic of being patient. Because that's really what it is. The more patient you are, the more you embrace your daily lessons, the more you learn, the more you live. We're never going to have a chance to time travel, but today we're going to have a chance to be present. And tomorrow, if you look at the life lessons, and one of the best things that I tell people all the time that I'm coaching is, I want you to look at today what you did wrong, or what showed up in your life again. What lesson came up in your life again? What lesson? What lesson came up in your life again? I want you to think about that right now. Because there's a lesson that comes up for us over and over and over again. So what lesson came up for you today? Now, why didn't you learn, or why didn't you tackle that lesson differently? And it could be a number of different things. It could have been something at work. It could have been something in a relationship. It could have been the way you eat, the way you work out. I can list it over and over again. The cigarette that you puffed that you shouldn't have puffed, right? The universe delivers on a daily basis lessons. It's like hand delivered. Like, hello, it's hand delivery of lessons. It's literally like, Uber. If Uber Eats can deliver lessons, it would be called Uber Lessons. So every single day a lesson is delivered. The same situations keep coming up, because if you think about it, life is pretty much like Groundhog Day, that great movie with Bill Murray. Every day our same situations keep coming up, and every single day we're tested to see if we can make it through our own personal Groundhog Day. So think about today what came up for you. It's probably the same stuff that came up for you on Sunday and on Friday and on Thursday and on Tuesday and on Wednesday. The day doesn't make a difference. But I want you to think about how it came up for you and how did you handle it. Did you handle it the same way you always handled it? Or did you finally break through the barrier or the fear or the thing that's holding you back? Because the lessons keep coming up to show us that we're being held back by the same story over and over again. So what happens is we get this lesson that shows up. We got a story around it. We don't make a breakthrough, and then the next day the same situation comes up, because it's the universe looking at us and going, hello, Groundhog Day, here we are. What are you going to do today? Are you going to walk through the fear today? Are you going to walk through the pain? Are you finally going to learn the lesson? Or are you going to finally take yourself to the next level in life? Because if we don't get to the next level, we get stuck at the same level that we've been every single day. And don't think tomorrow is going to be different because you plant a seed inside your head saying tomorrow is going to be different. No, it's not. It's never different until we are presented with the situation and we walk through it differently. Whenever the fear comes up, whenever the pain comes up, we take a workout, and you work out to a certain level all the time. Well, you got to work out and go to your pain threshold. So you got to work through that pain. It could be something with your brain. It could be a situation in a relationship, whatever it might be. You've got to realize that at that uncomfortable moment, if you do not walk through that uncomfortable moment, the universe is going to give you that same moment tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next year, and the following year. And the one thing you're never going to get back is time. Ever. Think about all the time that you have wasted stuck where you're stuck right now. Think about all the time. All the days, all the minutes, all the hours, all the months, all the years. All the memories that you could have had based on overcoming whatever is sticking you or stucking you right now. Because we don't get time back. If we got time back, then it's okay to lollygag. It's okay to be slow. It's okay to constantly be stuck in the same place. We like to measure ourselves, and we like to measure the little successes, but in reality, the little successes stop adding up if we're still stuck in the same place. Time. We never get it back. So how much time, how many years, how many experiences have you not had because you're still stuck in the story that you have? You're still stuck in the same situation. Even though you might have grown a little bit, you're still stuck in that situation. So how do we break it? Well, first off, when the pain and the fear comes up, we got to walk through it. We got to say to ourselves, oh my God, this is the moment when I don't push myself harder. This is the exact moment where I do not push myself harder. This is that moment. Every day that moment comes up. And this is this moment again today that I'm not going to push myself harder because I'm afraid of failure. And if I'm afraid of failure, then I'm going to fail, but I won't fail because I don't push myself harder. So in turn, I can delude myself by thinking I'm just on this slow path, when in reality, you ain't on a slow fucking path. You're still afraid of pushing yourself harder and getting yourself past the thing that's sticking. I know this because I do this in certain things in my life as well. I understand this, that until I walk through the thing that I fear the most, nothing is going to change. I can look at the small little wins and embrace them and be, yay, small little wins. It's like fucking masturbation. Would you rather have sex or have small little masturbatory sessions with yourself over and over again? Until you push yourself past that fear, that sticking point, nothing changes. You can congratulate yourself for the mental masturbation, small wins all you fucking want. But until you jump off that cliff and realize that you're not going to die, nothing's going to change. Point taken, I hope. DavidWygant.com. I'd like you to spread this podcast. As always, please share. I ask you that because this is free. And the more people that listen, the more people will actually be evolved and have our mindset. I'll see you this week, Wednesday, tomorrow.